Welcome to relivetv episode number 5. Tonight we're bringing you something a little bit different, a POV demo of f0rest taking on his old team Fnatic. This is our last episode of 2011, and so we thought we'd do something a little different and something that we quite enjoyed from earlier in the year at IEM5 Global Challenge. So I'm joined by Mike Matthias. How are you doing?
Pretty solid. Ready to watch some CS, good old CS. Bring back the good old days.
Yeah,
1.6.
I'm really looking forward to seeing f0rest play. He generally plays a rifle, and I think that's what we're going to expect going into this match. A little bit of action towards ramp, but he's not really peeking at anything. Yeah, I know you generally don't really like these sort of block play at mid-range. So f0rest's getting like 3 gooshes there.
Pretty BC aim.
7. Yeah, I think his the CTs might have been fighting a little bit of a crossfire there.
Upgrades to the USP. So you can pull off some sexy headshots. I love pistol rounds. USPs are so much fun for me.
Yeah, it was kind of a shame when they got rid of pistols during some of the televised source stuff. Wow, f0rest taking out Karn. 27 HP. Karn doesn't have anything left. But this is sort of becoming a bit of a legend, how f0rest just really steps it up against Fnatic. I was looking at just, a big list of demos, and it seems to be a really popular kind of a grudge match kind of a thing going on, where f0rest was like a top fragger on Fnatic, and now he seems to really play at the top of his game when he's against his old team.
Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Of course, Karn has been doing quite a good job at leading the Fnatic team in his absence. I mean, they've won quite a few major tournaments this year, and as has SK. They've done really well. We just recently cast them at the WCG 2011 finals. But I love this rock boost strat on anti-ecos especially.
Oh yeah, I think it's definitely a good idea to go outside when you got guns versus pistols. I don't know, there's some interesting eco strats from various teams where, like, you pretty much know that teams are going to go outside, at least send a few outside with guns on an anti-eco round. So a lot of eco strats seem to revolve around, the outside area and stopping the push out there, but yeah.
There's some pretty weird ones, like 5 on rafters, just all on the outside rafter.
I don't think that sounds like a little too crazy. You're all confined into one small space like that.
You just get spammed. Yeah. Delpan giving it his best, getting to 32 HP. That's not bad. This, of course, is on LAN, and what you miss out on these first-person view demos is just like the amount of communication going on between them.
Yeah, it's true.
It's kind of cool. Like a lot of I noticed from watching some demos from some of the online leagues, a lot of them use the in-game communication, and that actually does transfer into the demos. And you can follow along and see, what they're saying to each other, which I think is really cool. In fact, some players used to even record with voice loopback, meaning you could hear their voice too. But I mean, it's kind of weird, purposely setting it up to hear your own voice when you're playing. So, not sure what I think.
It's not too weird because there's no delay in it. It's not like you can hear yourself talk 2 seconds down the line. It happens virtually right then and there. So it just feels like you have a slight echo, or your voice is carrying or something.
Mhm.
But
It's a pretty aggressive eco strat. I thought maybe they were thinking there'd be Fnatic would deagle up or half buy or something, but it doesn't look like that's the case.
simple
And they
little
end up,
eco cleanup.
yeah, that is definitely some buy binds. If you I still notice a lot of people using the buy menu, but you know, you can make these really quick decisions while you're running out of spawn if you just set up binds, and you know, perfect on your numpad or on the right hand side of your keyboard if you don't have a numpad. I definitely recommend it, and you can find the out how to do that easily online.
Yeah, I think a lot of people use macros. Some people don't, though. Some people, you know, they attend so many lands or whatever, and they'll just use the buy menu, whatever. Works for them, I guess. Me, myself, I personally use the buy menu. I don't really care. 15 seconds of, you know, buy time, freeze time, rather.
Should be enough.
Indeed. I love that spam spot on the reverse raptor there from Red Rock. I love getting kills there, and it's so easy to get kills there, it seems like, if you spam in the right place. Then again, this is the map of paper walls, so anywhere is game.
Yeah, you're always surprised. They always find like weird ones. I remember you know, setting up these strats basically where we'd retake and they'd take the upper, and you knew exactly where they're planting, and if you shot on enough of an angle, you could get all the common plant spots. So the bomb would just die, and then somebody'd go and try and pick it up, and they just couldn't. It would just become like a really interesting round where you're not even like directly fighting them. Or and then they'd be like trying to spam you back through the wall, like predicting where you're shooting them. It's really ridiculous.
Yeah, that's why your headset and your sound card kind of make a big deal in this game, or kind of are a big deal in this game, because you know, if you're in tune with everything in your hardware, you can really pinpoint where people are, especially on this map. I mean, it's spamming walls as much as people do. Ooh,
f0rest with his deadly aim.
as sexy as that was, teammate.
Yeah. It's like he's in the zone. So kind of eco frags so far. I mean, that was that even? Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty, you know, pretty standard play. Not seeing anything too crazy, but
Mm-hmm.
we will see. f0rest never disappoints.
No, I don't think so. He's capable of getting some huge rounds for his team.
Interesting. He likes that radio room push. Maybe he's counter-stratting them, where he knows that Fnatic like to push up, because obviously these are some of his teammates. So, wow, that was a nice shot.
Great. So patient too. Oh. That was a weird. I mean, it's hard to say when you're watching. Oh, and fade to black as well. I don't know if you have that enabled, but yeah, this is a little bit disconcerting on LAN. Actually, is the fade to black rule, where you're actually allowed to talk, but once your screen is completely black, like once it's finished fading, you cannot talk, or you'll receive penalties or warnings, and you know, eventually disqualification. So it's the point is you avoid ghosting, or to a certain extent, and
Yeah.
I think it's an interesting rule.
I mean, I'm kind of like a little bit on the fence about that. I mean, it is good because it does prevent ghosting, like altogether. But at the same time, I still think that your teammates should be able to give you feedback if they see something that you didn't. But I don't know, up for debate.
So that was a bit of an odd round, there was at least one M4 on the CT side, but it looked like a bit of a save as well. So maybe either a half buy or they picked up a gun. But the nice thing about the POV demos is that they tend to be a lot more accurate when compared to the HLTV demos. So there's none of that sort of weird delay that I know you talk about occasionally, Mike, where what a shot. Just the moment he lands.
That was nice. Recoil control. Awesome.
But that you talk about every now and then, and that there's this sort of weird delay that makes it look like players are always snapping towards their head in the most dramatic fashion possible, but when in fact that's just the demo's kind of weird interpolation of what's actually happening.
Right, yeah.
Whereas
Yeah,
POV, you know, you're seeing exactly what, for all intents and purposes, this is exactly what f0rest is seeing.
Oh, nice shot. Very nice.
He really does have these disgustingly good reflexes.
It's really good because to see these POV demos also, because I feel like when you're watching HLTV, it kind of dehumanizes the players. Like, it makes them seem ridiculously good to the point that, like, how do I even do that? Like, that's what it seems like to me anyway. Like, and even when you're realizing that there's an HLTV glitches and demo and weird skips and stuff like that, it still makes it look like it almost makes it look like it's better play than it really is. Whereas when you're watching
Part of it
the
too
POV,
is that
you can see
when you watch
each
the
recoil.
POV, you
Yeah.
realize that the individual players are only focusing on a very, very narrow. They have a very narrow individual focus. Whereas when you're watching the HLTV demos, the teamwork aspect comes out a little bit more, which is awesome. But there's also an added layer of complexity that is built into the strategies. So you're seeing the strategies more completely, but really each individual player has a pretty narrow role in that strategy.
Yeah.
Delpan grabbing a headshot. Man, that guy's just so good with an op, and it's fun to see him actually earlier in this demo playing for Fnatic. He was actually a huge pickup for SK when he moved over to SK, and in fact, I think he's a big reason as to why they were quite successful. And Fnatic having actually taking out SK later in this tournament year in 2011, it was a huge moment for them because they had to develop new talent, which is always really difficult for a team to do, especially this late in the game. The people who've been on the top have been on the top forever. I mean, these are all very familiar names to all of us. So, when you jump ship and Fnatic ends up, yet again, it's sort of a common occurrence for Fnatic to lose players to the better funded SK. But I think Fnatic's quite an organization now. They are sponsored quite well by BenQ as well as Razer and some others, and I think they MSI as well. So I think they probably have a budget now to keep a hold on their players.
Oh yeah, I think MSI is one of their biggest sponsors actually. I always see it all over their stuff. So, and it's in their names a lot of the time too, in their tags.
Fnatic and MSI, yeah. Some pretty standard flashes here. Oh, looks like he just dodged a team flash there by charging the.
Brought it back very nice though. Pushed it out.
Yeah,
that was nice. It's always good to see, good play, but then when something screws up, you can see how they recover from it too. Just as much as a part of being a good player as it is other things.
Looking down at the ground, that'll allow him to see a little bit better through the smoke. It's just one of these weird Half-Life engine things.
That's actually an LCD thing, I think. I don't think it works
eh?
on. I don't think it works on CRTs. Rather, I think it's an LCD thing.
I'll have to test that out sometime. But yeah, I mean, I don't remember ever doing that before. So, to see that is